Hello, we're live from Miller's Bio Farm in Quarryville, Pennsylvania, right? It's Quarryville.
Quarryville.
Okay, I didn't know if it had
Lancaster
its own.
County.
Okay,
Yeah.
just wanted to kind of show you the amazing dairy that we are bottling over here. Yes, they put me to work.
Yeah, you've
In
been
the
on the
line.
pack line. Yeah.
Yeah, and so this is raw cow's milk, which is amazing. They also have pasteurized dairy. We have corn and soy-free chicken and pork. So I've been around the world, which I told you, and I've tried various different dairies and even just like food in general. And so since I have traveled a lot, there are very specific places where I'm like, no, I'll just get sushi from Japan. Don't really, unless they're a really good restaurant or something of that sort. So when it comes to all different foods, and even when we're talking about Parmesan Reggiano, I'm like, only from Italy. But dairy, only from Miller's Bio Farm. Seriously, once you have their butter, it is, the unsalted butter is amazing. It's a super beautiful, like yellow color, and it's just so yummy. And their cottage cheese is like, oh my gosh, it's otherworldly. So can you tell us a little bit about where we're at and some of the products that you guys have at Miller's?
Yeah. Well, first, where are we? We're in the bottling room here at Miller's. This is where all of our milk is bottled. All the fluid cow milk is bottled here. We also have our butter churn in here, so it's also where we churn butter. It's over in the corner over there.
Oh, okay.
And our ice cream maker, this is also where our raw ice cream is made, right here in this room.
Wow.
And that's where we're at. And looking out is on our pastures. Right now they're growing and no cows are out there.
Yeah, you guys can get, whoop,
Yeah.
you see right there, there's pastures out there. And then what I love too about Miller's is you guys just, your attention to detail. They go above and beyond. If they know better, they do better, right? And that's just kind of what we look for in our farms is nobody has to be perfect because I don't believe anybody is. But, things such as the attention to detail where they pay attention to the where the milk comes in from. And so behind us is stainless steel, right? What kind of a system is that?
Yeah, so downstairs, what's below us is the milk house. That's where our bulk tank is. And then right next to the bulk tank, right over there below us, is the barn where the cows get milked. So the cows get milked, it goes into the bulk tank. Then it gets piped up through these stainless steel tubes. I don't know, some of them, the plastic tubes are for water. But anyway, stainless steel tubes, and then it goes into the bottler, and that's where the milk gets bottled. And that milk is also the milk we use for yogurt, for butter, for kefir, for cottage cheese, for, all the wonderful dairy products we make.
Great. And so is Miller's Bio Farm, is it like a co-op, or how would you...
So it is confusing because the name is Miller's Bio Farm, singular, and that's how it started out, like a long time ago with Aaron and his wife, Rebecca. But since then, we can't do everything on our 40-acre property, right? So we've taken on other farms. It's really a community of farms. They're all family farms. All the kids are involved. And so we have like Aaron's two brothers, John and David. There are two dairy farmers for our raw dairy. We have a farmer that raises our pigs and our turkey. We have Daniel, he raises our chicken. Who else? We're going to go to Lamar today. We're going to visit Lamar today.
Yeah.
He does our honey. We have, I think, maybe 5 different farms that are doing our eggs. So we're really a community of small farms that are all following the same standards. And we set the standards, and if they want to join us, they're, we can have that conversation. So
Yeah, and I've kind of been here just seeing it all firsthand as well. Do you guys do tours if I were to bring my family there?
Oh, well, you're welcome to visit. It's kind of boring, honestly, if you come, unless you come at 5 a.m. or 5 p.m. when the cows are getting milked downstairs. You're welcome to come. We don't do official tours. That's one thing I'd love to do next year. And farm day. We do farm day once a year. That's the best day to visit the farm because it's huge. We have out in the pasture a giant tent. We serve a beautiful lunch, and a lot of our farmers come and are there to talk to people.
Yeah, there's so many great reviews that I saw online, and I just missed it. It was like 2 weekends before I came here, but I'm kind of getting my own personalized tour. But as far as that's concerned, I think it's just mostly because you guys are just understaffed in ways where it's like the farm tours are just.
Yeah.
When did you guys start Miller's Farm?
Miller's, Aaron, I think 2009 is when he started selling things, and it's just grown since then.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and exponentially, I guess, in the past few years. And I mean, he was even on the pack line, you know, Aaron was. So this is how, you know, short-staffed they are to give farm tours. But, you know, essentially you guys do have an open door policy if anybody wants to stop by, but tours aren't right on the list of things. But we'll get there. And then I know somebody said hi from California. Is your name Josh, by the way? Because I was packing your like goat kefir and all of those yummy goodies, good for the healthy gut, yesterday. So you get a good energy vibe out there too. I know somebody was saying how well Animal Based has done for them. Amazing too. And if you want to up your dairy game, this is A2, 100% grass fed. Like, yes, it is super high quality, but it is super great tasting. The best dairy I've had. So, cool. Somebody said they're going to come and make it there. Definitely. This is Marie, who most likely you'll be talking to, and maybe just, you know, letting her know, emailing her, and the team. She kind of does it all. Are you available in stores in California?
No. So we do not sell in stores at all. We don't even have an on-farm store here. So the only way to get our food, like it's really the only way, is to order on our website and then get it delivered to you. We would love to start a pickup location in California.
Yeah,
if
so if
anyone's
anybody wants to
interested.
do that, do it. I was going to start one for them in Texas because I get the Millers delivered to my home and my front doorstep, which is very nice, but it would be really nice to have a pickup location to kind of help lower the cost of delivery fees. However, if you are around the PA area or even within a few hours, it's a beautiful way to just come by, stop, pick up your order, you know, and it's kind of an adventure to take, whether you have kids or not, but just come visit. Okay, and I know there were some other questions too online. They asked about, you know, the feed of the animals. So is there, what do you guys feed? Because again, one of my other favorite products here at Miller's is bacon. And why? For so many reasons, because it's corn and soy free bacon, great. Nitrite and nitrate free, great. Sugar free, amazing. Uncured, so you're literally just getting bacon and salt from really quality pork.
That's right.
And I absolutely love it. So what are the pigs fed? What are the chicken fed?
I'm going to reference because I want to give the right information.
Yes.
Cows are really, really easy, okay? Cows, 100% grass, okay? They're not fed anything else other than grass, so that's great. Our chicken.
Great, because somebody asked, do you also sell beef? And so yes, we do.
Yes, beef is 100% grass too, 100% grass-fed and finished beef. So chickens, of course, they're on pasture, so they're eating bugs, they're eating greens. But we do give them a feed. Our chicken farmer is very specific about what he wants in his feed and where his feed comes from and the quality of the grain. But it's a blend of wheat, peas, barley, fish meal, which comes from sardines, that's sustainably harvested, and also nothing's added during the process. Like sometimes they add chemicals as preservatives. No, it's just straight sardines. Flaxseed, kelp, and like a vitamin mineral mix.
Which is really good for the omega-3 profile as well too. And so I know we were talking to the chicken farmer yesterday, and he is also one of those very curious, very much into the land, and will adjust feed as, you know, again, if he knows of something better and something that's going to make the chickens healthier. But right now, like, he's just really dialing it in, and you guys can see kind of just in your results and even in the taste of the chicken.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing that was cool about our feed, and this wasn't intended when the feed was formulated, was that it ends up having this perfect omega-6 to 3 ratio, which there's a scientist, we didn't get this testing done, he just randomly tested it, and he found it had a 1-to-1, and he was blown away because he's never seen it before.
No, the closest it's ever been was actually from North Star Bison over in Wisconsin. They have it from their pasture-raised or 100% grass-fed bison.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, and so that's the closest that you can get to, like, the salmon, you know, really high-quality wild-caught salmon, 1-to-1 ratio. And that is what, you know, kind of health is about. It's just how we can balance those omega ratios. And, you know, this is why pork and chickens and eggs could have a high PUFA content, which could mean, you know, an imbalance and higher in omega-6s, which is what we don't want, which is what causes the inflammation.
Well, the corn and the soy are super high in omega-6, and we do not want that.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't want that. We are also in on a farm that has an Amish community, right?
That's
Do we
right.
want to talk about that a little?
Sure, yeah. So Aaron, the owner, he is Amish, and I would say, I don't know, at least half, probably 75% of 75% of the people that work here on the farm are Amish, and they do not do pictures, they do not do video. That's just something that they don't do as part of their religion. So they're not going to be on the video.
Right.
That's why it's me.
Yeah.
And it feels a little wrong. Like I want everyone else in too, but it's how it goes.
Yeah,
so.
we want to get you closer to your farmer, but this is kind of the closest we get to also respect the culture as well. You'll be seeing more videos from me next week, not necessarily with them, but we'll be speaking with them off of camera. So stay tuned, subscribe, hit the notification bell on my YouTube channel because we're going to make a fun recipe that we can share with you guys using some dairy products, which will be great for holiday season, as well as an interview, which is like a real big deep dive. So this is kind of like a little sneak peek, preliminary, questions. So somebody asked, I'm so confused by the labeling on the raw dairy. When I went to order, it keeps saying for cats and dogs. Is there a difference between those products and ones meant for humans?
Yeah.
So not sure. Like you can also email or anything like that if you want to share that.
We can totally talk about it.
Yep.
So see this one? This is our raw milk for cats and dogs. So if you live in Pennsylvania, well, I guess I should back up a second. For those who are maybe new to raw or unfamiliar with the raw milk laws. Raw milk is regulated like marijuana, which is kind of unbelievable. So it goes state by state, and the states can't do commerce with another state. So in Pennsylvania, where we are now, every state has their own rules. Raw milk for humans is allowed, and all of our farms are certified by the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture to produce raw milk for humans. So you could actually go to a store in Pennsylvania, like a supermarket, and buy raw milk. That's what's allowed in Pennsylvania. But we can't send that milk to another state.
Yep, so you cannot cross borders with it.
Exactly.
But that same milk that you do give to humans here in Pennsylvania, the same quality of it is also for cats and dogs.
Exactly. So we also have like raw milk for cats and dogs. It's the same milk with a different label. And because of that, so if you email the farm, if you call the farm, and you ask us, can I drink the raw milk for cats and dogs? We are going to say no. It is legitimately certified as a pet food, and we can't recommend it for humans, even though it is the same milk. I wish the rules were different. So if we could do it, we would. And then like raw yogurt, raw cottage cheese, raw kefir, unfortunately, there's just no available certification for that at all. So the highest we can get to legally sell it is for pet food. So it's such a sad state that our pets can eat better than us in the United States. But we're doing all we can, and we hope that
That's if we follow the rules. Dang it, the rules, man. Oh, no. Shucks. But if you want to know, kind of more info, too, if you have any more questions, because we can kind of talk about this all day, feel free to email me, email Marie, or, go to their website, explore more. I know somebody asked where they can find their website. Well, one, you can go my link in bio right now. It's at the top of my page, so go there, check it out. You'll just have to basically sign in as create an account, and then you can kind of shop and do all of these things. So, so it's an amazing thing to explore. And also, Marie, you have so many resources on there too for the questions of the cats and dogs, and as well as from recipes to just fun, updated information, what's in the news, all of, especially as we are sort of seeing a lot in the news about raw milk and all of that. So there's plenty for you guys to look for in there. Okay, let's see. I'm sure you can find all this info. What's your website? We said
so much info. MillersBiofarm.com.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Or you could just link in bio. I want to talk about the A2 dairy too, because I know that's been a question too. So like
what
A2,
is A2?
100% grass-fed dairy. Go ahead.
I know. It is a little confusing, right? Like the grades of maple syrup or the grades of Wagyu beef, right? This is not a grading thing, A2. This is a very hard line. No subjectivity here. It is, Is it A2 or is it not? So A2 has to do with the type of beta casein protein that's in the milk. And this is really special only to cows. All other mammals, humans, goats, sheep, mice, platypuses, they all produce milk naturally that has 100% A2 beta casein protein. But cows, like a couple thousand years ago, when people were moving them into cities, they were getting super stressed out and they were being fed, starting to be fed grain. What happens when an organism is stressed? Bad things, right? It mutated and it started to produce this new type of beta casein protein, the A1. I don't know why they named the A1 the new one and the A2 the old one.
I know.
But either way, a lot of people nowadays can't digest the A1 beta casein protein and they think that they're intolerant to milk.
Right.
But it's not necessarily milk.
Right. Yeah. So if you guys are having any, I know I get a lot of frequently asked questions about milk, and I'm allergic to milk or I'm lactose intolerant. And so typically I always say try a little bit of it that is, of the variant A2, 100% grass-fed raw, just, straight up. Goat milk would probably be actually the preliminary step, just in case you are maybe hyper allergic or super allergic, or so that maybe you think that you are. Try that process first, and if that doesn't work for you, then maybe there's some things that we need to adjust and look into from a deeper level. But that typically, when people transition to that, they are no longer lactose, or they no longer have skin issues, or they no longer have any dairy reactions.
Yeah. Well, especially with raw too, because it, like lactose, for example, when you drink raw milk, the living microbiology in it can jumpstart your gut into producing the enzyme you need to digest lactose, because we naturally produce less of that lactase enzyme as we get older.
Right.
It's just naturally what we do. But if you are living with dairy and living with raw dairy, you keep that ability to produce that enzyme.
Because when it's ultra pasteurized, then that's when actually the enzyme is destroyed.
Correct.
In breaking down the lactose.
Exactly.
So that's why
it's just straight
there's
sugar
like
water.
An override, and why there's allergies. Let's talk about shelf life. Somebody asked. That's a great question.
Shelf life is one of our top questions. So if you go through our website, at least, it has. Actually, I'm curious to know if they're asking about a specific product. But on our website, you click on a product, and it'll lead you to the product page. I would say 75% of our products, at least, have the shelf life on there. We also have a really awesome resources page, and there's a shelf life guide that you can download there that goes through all of our products and tells you how long it'll last and But keep in mind those dates are estimates, right? There's no magical way to be like, after 14 days, your milk will sour, right? It really depends on so many variables, how much you open it, what temperature it's at, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Right. And sometimes I do as well, if I buy in bulk, I'll freeze it. And then that holds the freshness a bit longer until, it hits the fridge. And then you open it and then you introduce, air and things like that. There's also, even if it does turn sour, it's not necessarily bad.
Raw, yeah.
Right, with raw, it can, because you still have the living bacteria and cultures in there, so it's still living and fine. It just turns into a different product almost.
Yeah, it's turning into cheese.
That's
what's happening. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, somebody asked about inflammation with raw dairy. This is a very good question. So, one, it depends on you, okay? Meaning, if you are if you have some potential reactions to dairy, okay, in general, I speak to dairy in general, this could start with the quality. I would say start with the quality if you want to try. Now, this is something that you'll have to try and test out for yourself. So, what I would do is go immediately to the best of the best I can find, which is A2, 100% grass-fed. And why grass-fed is because when they are grain-fed, milking cows or just any sort of dairy cows, then if they are grain fed, then the omega ratio will be off. What that means is what their feed, if the omega-6 ratio is, or if the omega-6 is higher and it's quite imbalanced than the omega-3, so you have a high omega-6 as opposed to omega-3, that is what could cause inflammation. So the 100% grass-fed and organic, so that there's no pesticides or chemicals or anything like that sprayed with, what their feed, then that is exactly what you want to shoot for. Then the likelihood of inflammation is less. So I would try A2, 100% grass-fed, raw, and if you're still having these issues, then it's something else that we need to look at. But that is my path that I would take if I saw that I was having some reactions to dairy. So great question. I'm sure you have some resources on inflammation too as well,
We
potentially.
have
As it,
so many blog posts.
Yeah.
I always like to think about it though so simply. It's like, what was our first food?
yeah, exactly.
Right? We were born to digest dairy. That's
Right.
basically what it comes down to. And so how do we make our body function so that it can do that again? We've lost that ability.
Right, exactly. Thanks, Marie, so much for
thanks,
having
Lindsay.
me. Yeah,
So fun.
we're gonna have so much more fun over the next 48 hours. So come join us, or just follow my stories and all these things. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.